What's keeping you from living out your sex fantasy?
There's a lot of shame and stigma.
So much stigma.
A lot of shame or stigma.
Shame and terror around sex and relationships.
This could be because, according to a recent study of the past 3 decades of sex education literature, more than 80% only covered pregnancy and disease prevention. This negative teaching around sex can lead to intimacy issues, which aren't partner exclusive and can keep you from getting in touch with your own body.
Everybody has their own dogma that they've internalized, and some of that dogma has taught people, okay, I'm not supposed to look at my body. There's a lot of shame and stigma attached to body, especially if people have STDs or STIs. That reality can make people adverse to wanting them to see themselves or wanting to connect with themselves.
So how do we remove the stigma attached to talking about sex? Well, you may not realize it, but COVID has helped normalize language that could help destigmatize one of the most shamed parts of sex, STIs.
COVID is oddly giving us these opportunities to have these deep, authentic discussions with our partners. And I'm not even sure if people are aware that they're starting to have parallel conversations. COVID and STIs, they both have viruses. They both are stigmatizing. Some people are afraid to disclose if they test positive for risk in being shamed. And just the language we use even around getting tested. Have you been tested today? It's a safe place. I'm safe. I'm clean. I'm this. I'm that.
And so maybe now this is a step in the right direction of making sure we just normalize asking about your status, whether that's your STI status or your COVID status. We just normalize having these conversations with people in a way that's just healthy and accepted. And so to me, it's people shouldn't be shamed for it. People shouldn't be embarrassed about it. But what does it look like to just say hey, here's my risk factor profile. You want to have sex? What does that look like?
It probably looks like a world where we're more comfortable exploring our own bodies.
It's very important that we understand we don't have to ask our partners, or anybody for that matter, for permission to be able to get in touch with ourselves and our bodies. That's something I think that is healthy to share with a partner. But the best way to really be able in a relationship to say, hey, I'm going to masturbate, is by being respectful, and you can be polite, but there's not really much of a reason to be apologetic, in my opinion.
In a world where we're more comfortable getting professional help to explore our desires.
If you do feel like there's something that you would like to change, that there are resources out there. There are sex doulas. There are people who are sex therapists. So you don't have to sit in that shame.
It can be really hard to ask for what you want. There can be a lot of shame or stigma around desires, and being able to have the structure of a professional domination session provides space for you to ask for what you really want, and an opportunity for you to get it and to practice asking for what you want.
And when we practice compassion and openness with ourselves, we can bring it to our community. And not to get all kumbaya here, but that's really what's going to have an impact.
When we can talk about it in community and share in community, then we have the balancing acts of, that doesn't feel quite right. How do we talk about this differently or approach it differently? And so I think it's really important to be very open and receive people. And when people say something, to actually say to them, okay, well, tell me more. Where is that coming from? And how do we kind of get to the place where we're meeting in the middle?
So try a little tenderness, and you could find yourself tied up in exactly the position you want to be in. Are you shameless about sex? Tell us in the comments below.